So, hello everyone, I'm Giulia, and in my life I'm an interaction designer in Denver, that it's a digital agency in Cologne, and my job is basically taking care of the user experience and user interface of website, application, and platform, and creating high level and high working prototypes. So today we are talking about some stuff that may be interesting for you, because I know most of you are developers and most are designers. So this could be really interesting for both, because can help you during the creation of application or website and making it more fabulous. So let's start saying, what are we talking about? What is usability testing? For the people that doesn't know anything of design, usability testing is a test in which you put your target audience in front of your platform, that can be the website or the application, and then ask for completing a goal, and then face the problem they encounter while using it, like, I don't know, someone searching for a book in your fabulous application and not finding it, and then searching for all the problem the user is encountering. So usually my friends that are developer ask me, Giulia, why designers they care so much about usability? We take care because nowadays there are millions of applications, millions of websites, and to rise up in the system, it's really important to be most efficient as possible, and also be more fabulous as possible. And I want to show you a short video. It's not working here. Let's imagine that our beautiful structure of the application is like a kitchen, and the user is someone that is using our application that is fabulous, but maybe is not really well designed, so is facing some problem. And this could happen when you make beautiful application without asking the user for their feedback. Okay, there's no value. Yeah, so even if an application is well designed with beautiful structure and beautiful and beautiful feature, the user, without having hint, may encounter really bad situation and make disaster, like in this moment.
You mean that the MacBook is bad design, right? Okay.
So now let's say, what does mean guerrilla user testing? It's an art of going in public spaces and ask a stranger for a test, so testing your application or your platform, and thinking aloud, saying all the problems or all the feedbacks that they have in mind in a couple of minutes. So it's really easy and also funny to do and useful. Why? Because it's cheap, because lot of people cannot pay a digital agency to do a really good user experience test, also because it's long. And I imagine people involved in startups or that wants to develop something alone cannot go and pay people to do a test. Then it's simple because everyone can do it, basically, with a lot of patience and observing people. And also it's effective because it gives you a lot of feedbacks, a lot of important information about your platform. So can lead you on designing a better experience and application. So what we can test in a Guerrilla user testing? Basically everything. Usually high fidelity prototypes are the better one because they have more interaction inside of it. So this doesn't mean having only the visual design of your application, but also some, I don't know, tapping interaction or switching interaction. So user can face more problem maybe and have better feedbacks. Or also live side, that can be landing pages or application, even if it's not so good to test the final application you have because it will take more time to use the feedback to correct the problem than making it faster and better in the primary moment. And we can test also wireframes or paper prototypes. That means, okay, really, really easy and cheap stuff that can be used in a fast way. For example, paper prototypes can be used in few minutes, asking the people to search for a feature like, okay, can you say me where will you click if you have to search for a bike or if you have to go in the home page? So paper prototypes usually are really, really good when you are designing your application to test it before it's too late and to obtain a good information like feedbacks to maybe modify the interface. So why we do it? Because we want to evaluate the usability. So hoping the people will get to the point without facing many, many problems, like the guy in the kitchen, and like the navigation, if they can go to through the goal in a faster way and effective, if they understand what is the message of your application, like what is the point of the application Willie was showing us. It's, I don't know, renting a bike, buying a bike, yeah. And if they can complete a normal task like buying a book, buying something, finding a club in a city in a faster way. And in the same way, you can have better feedbacks than asking your mother or asking the other developer it's working with you. So it will lead you to leave the bad and poor usability decision like, yeah, we can add this icon. People after 10 times using it will understand that this icon means no. Or about, yeah, I like this beautiful button with a dragon, and yeah, I think people will understand after 10 times using it that this other person in our, no. So this feedback will be really useful for the creation of really, really real website that people can use in a good way. So for run a test, let's be practical. You need these 5 stuff that are a facilitator, that is a guy that asks the question, can be anyone with that can read and basically can listen. An observer, that can be a guy that stands and observe all the situation, all the facial expression, movement, the interaction of the people with your application or website or anything it is. Devices, it's really important because if you are going to test an application on an iOS device, you need an iOS device. You don't have to ask someone in a cafe, hey, I want to make a test with you. Yes, okay, do you have an iPhone? No. It's better every time to have the device with you. Reward, That doesn't mean money, because we are poor. So that can be anything from offering a cafe, if you are in a cafeteria, or chocolate or coupons. And for example, I made a Guerrilla user testing in Switzerland with children, and I was offering sweets because, okay, I cannot offer money to children. And it was working because everyone was really interested in sweets. So, and finally a recorder, so you can rewatch it and understand better the situation that happened to you. So, the workflow usually is divided in 3 parts: planning, what are you going to do, observing the people using it, and analyzing the data. So, planning. Planning is the most important part, I think, because you have to take care of these 4 stuff, like the task. You have to have in mind what to ask the user. So what are the goals you are going to ask to do? Like, I'm going to show you an example with an e-commerce that we have done, in which user can buy almost everything in this e-commerce. Like, we were asking for searching sweet, like chocolate bars. Even if the tasks are really used to do, you have to really be precise in the task you ask. Like, I want you to search for the most near bike here in this area, for example, and you have to observe people doing it. And also miserable task. You don't want to be like footsie. You have to be more precise as possible. Then the most important part also is the target. If you are developing for example, an application for children, you don't have to go in a university, because your target will be the little one, and so you have to go straight in an area, for example, kindergarten or parks, in which you can find those type of target. And also it's important to have internet access, because if you have to test it, you don't have to ask people to follow you. You have to offer it. Otherwise, it will be more hard to perform. Then, the environment. So, take care of it, because it's really important if you go in a place in which there are a lot of movement, for example, cafeterias that are really good, but people usually are together chatting, they don't have time, or they are with a group, so maybe the feedback will be not so clear, because they will be influenced by the other people way of thinking. And also the distraction. You cannot perform a testing in a disco, because no one will follow you, or I don't know, during a manifestation and a carnival. And finally, the devices. Also, as we said, if you are going to ask someone for the time, you have to be really carry of it and bring your device with you. So, during the plan, it's also better to prepare something to say to the people, because you don't want to jump in front of them and surprise them like a serial killer. So it's always better to prepare something that speaks about you, like who are you, why you are there, and why you are asking strangers for a test, basically. And what do you want from them, because it's really important. So usually when we do the guerrilla testing, this is my way of saying, hey, do you have a minute for me? I'm Giulia, so you are saying who you are, and I work for a digital agency, or you can say I'm a startup. I am a single developer that wants to make a revolution. So I'm here asking people to take a look to my application and let me know what they think, and I will record your answer. And in return of your great time, I will buy you a slice of cake and a coffee to say you thank you. So will you spend 10 minutes for me doing this task? Okay, usually it works, because don't be scared about people, because they really like to perform tests and help the others. They are really curious and kind usually. But it's important to say what are you doing, what do you demand, and what you offer for the time, and then also recording the answer, because sometimes most of the people like to perform a test, but they don't want you to be too intrusive. So always be clear and always be really, really fast and kind. So during the observation, so when we obtain this beautiful person that make a test with us, you have to ask them for a simple task to do. For example, search this item on this platform, or where we are going to search for the newsletter. And it's always really, really good to build up a scenario. And then it's fundamental to ask them to think aloud, to say everything they have in mind, like, I don't like the color, I don't understand this icon, I don't give the point of this application. It's really important because those will be your users, so you are having a lot of feedbacks in that moment. And then it's also important not to give hints, like if you are asking to search the button to add a person to the contact, you don't have to say, okay, search it and yeah, it's a plus, so somewhere, search it somewhere for a plus. No, it won't work. So always be a little bit. For the scenario, I made for you an example that we made as a Guerrilla usability testing. So even if I work in a digital agency, we had few usability testing, so we decided to go Guerrilla in a cafeteria. And because of this super big e-commerce, we were asking people to search for chocolate bar. Like, after the person was in front of our laptop, we say, okay, you are the owner of a tobacco shop, and you have to place some new order for your shop. Then you need to buy chocolate snake, for example, Mars, and try to obtain the better price, so the offer. How would you use this online shop, also the page? So, this is our platform now. So we were testing application and also the online platform, the web platform. And we let the user decide where to click, where to go in the scenario, observing, and ask him, okay, what do you think you will go after clicking here? And what do you think it means, this little number, when you see it? Or, for example, what does that mean in your opinion? And let the user asking the question. Or, you can go and search for your chocolate Mars snack. Where will you search it? Okay, now it's not really visible, but basically we're asking for the search bar. And the reactions are really, really fabulous because people are really involved into this. They take care and they love giving you input and searching for the problem. And it's really, really important for the observer to note also the faces. That even if they say, it's clear, I don't think it's super clear for the woman, so it's always better to be 2 or 3 people. And I told you not to say hint, but there are some good questions that you can answer, that you can ask people. So if they are really confused, you can ask, hey, what are you thinking about this button, this icon, this teaser? And clicking here or swiping, what do you think it will happen? And it's really important. You will obtain a lot of information asking directly it, because most of the time you have in mind as a developer or designer, if I swipe, I will obtain this, but most of the people doesn't know it, they don't know it, so it's better to have this information. So clicking here and having this interaction was the interaction you were expecting, like swiping, I don't know, when I swipe, I close the application. Is that the interface interaction that you were expecting? Maybe no? Or this is the most used. Where will you search for or click for adding a new bike in your group? So at the end of this test, it's really, really important to analyze all the feedback that you have and the infos, discussing with the other people involved in the group, because of that, the facilitator face, for example, the interaction with the platform, but the other people observe the reaction. So it's always better to reassemble all the info, and then think aloud about what is easy to fix in the most fast way, and what it's really in need to be redesigned or redefined in another step. So, and another advice I want to give you: don't get lost if people don't get it in the first way. For example, they don't know where to click, because it's also a matter of experience. It doesn't mean that your application it's completely broken and is not working. Most of the time, if the people find the answer after some second or 2 minutes, it's okay. It's a problem that can be in the first part ignored, because it's only about the interaction and working more on the experience for the user, not for you. So, in conclusion, if you want to do a fabulous Guerrilla usability testing, you have to pick a good location, not too busy, where you know that you will get your target. For example, young people, university. And then create a scenario like, I want you to use my application for search for the available room in Politecnico. You have a scheduled meeting today in Boella, you don't know where to go, and you have to use my application to find this room. Where will you click? So this is a scenario. So let the user finally do it without suggesting and lead you to the answer. Like, I want to know what people think about my swiping interaction. Don't suggest anything, let the user speak aloud about it. And then basically analyzing all the data and understand together with your group what this option mean, what this result mean for you. So, and this Guerrilla testing also push back the bad decision that we have, like adding incredibly good looking 90s looking icons, or 1 million colors, or hidden interaction, because I want to be mysterious with my application. And also facing the problem with your client, because most of the time, if you are in a startup or in a huge group, there are clients that ask you, I don't care what user thinks. I want you to use the 90s icon, the 90s widget, because I'm retro, I like it. No. With this type of information, you will be able to say to your clients, look, the user, your target is not getting this type of widget. And so also, finally, with this group of feedback, you will have a good real metric. So it's not there are not feedbacks given by your friends that will say, Mario, your application is famous because it's your friend who can say to you, it's no. So because there are real people with real opinions, so this metric will be real for you to design and develop a very, very good application that works. So, thank you. you will use it. It's really easy. So if you have any questions, I'm here.
Yes, if you do in Italy, probably your phone could be stolen.
Yeah, it depends also. It depends also where this is connected on the environment. Okay, for example, I want to test my beautiful application about markets, rural markets, and my target are the old ladies. I won't go in Porta Palazzo probably to make a test, probably to be sure. Yeah, but be careful. Like I will.
Important,
Yeah, but it's the environment. Oh.
Okay, I have a question about the number. I want to know, for example, in a special use case, let's say you want to test an application and you begin to plan and you already know your target, but what you can say about how many people I will go for the Guerrilla test before, let's say, stop the first test. I have to do it with 10 people, 20 people. What do you think about
Okay,
numbers?
usually in this case, less is more is not an option. So the most you have, the better it is. Usually I prefer to have at least 7 or 10, but it depends. Usually you can also ask people to stop for 2 minutes and test only a feature, like, okay, where will you click for this task, like finding this room, and this could work really well also with wireframe and paper prototype. You can ask directly in a fast way, one people at a time, hey you, 2 minutes, where will you click if you have to go in the main page? And in this way you will have more feedback, faster, maybe the quality will be not so big in spite of description, but you will get more. So it depends on the stuff and the platform you are testing. For this, it's really good when you test with a lot of people in a fast way. And for the rest, the more you have, the better it is. But after a while, when you see that all the feedbacks are leading you to the same problems, you can stop. After a while, you don't have to stay, I don't know, 1 month testing. You can stay also a day asking people and then finally seeing the result. If there's something that doesn't convince you, maybe you can ask for more. But usually, yeah, you don't have to stay a lot. It's really simple and fast.
Okay.
Then, question.
Guerrilla testing is very effective to observe the first impression and how an application is easy to understand and to learn to use. Do you use and how do you use techniques of usability Guerrilla to measure, how do you say, more experienced users? So, for example, when you need for users that are very used to adopt your application, how do you manage with the data collection with these users?
In the Guerrilla testing or normal usability testing?
Do you use Guerrilla testing also for?
No, okay, it never happened to me because usually for more experienced one, there are a lead group that observe it. So, and also because of the prototype for advanced level user should be more effective, so should be with a lot of interaction, and so that means that you are also asking for more focused user group. But I think it could be done. For example, in Politecnico, I think could be useful, for example, to test it because there are a lot of experienced people. And for the data collection, yeah, you have to record it, and I think you have to divide in many scenarios with focus tasks. In this way, you will be more focused on the stuff you have to fix for this type of group. I don't know if I explained it in a good way, but with that short scenario, like, okay, you are an engineer and I don't know, you have to search for a bike, and then you ask just for the feature. So where is the key feature of this screen? Okay, you are searching for the bike, but where will you click to do this stuff? What do you think this button will lead you to? So I think that should be more punctual in the asking this question. Other?